The discovery, the eerie stillness of the abandoned facility sent shivers down Zara's spine as she cautiously made her way through the dimly lit corridors. An explorer by trade, she had stumbled upon this derelict structure while surveying a remote, seemingly uninhabited planet on the outskirts of known space. At first glance, the facility appeared to be nothing more than another relic of a forgotten era, a testament to the rise and fall of countless civilizations that had once sought to tame the untamed reaches of the galaxy. However, as Zara delved deeper into its depths, a growing sense of unease began to take hold. The air grew thick with the stench of decay, a noxious blend of rusted metal, stagnant water, and something far more unsettling, the unmistakable odor of rotting flesh. Zara's heart raced as she followed the putrid trail, her curiosity overpowering her better judgment. As she turned a corner, a faint noise echoed through the hallway, a sound that was part whimper, part moan. It was a cry of despair unlike anything Zara had ever heard before, a haunting plea that seemed to emanate from the very walls themselves. Steeling her nerves, Zara pressed on until she reached a heavy metal door at the end of the corridor. The door was sealed shut, but through its small window she could make out a faint glow emanating from within. With trembling hands, she pried open the rusted latch and stepped inside. What greeted her was a sight that would forever be etched into her memory. In the center of the room, illuminated by flickering emergency lights, stood a cage, a prison of rusted metal bars caked in filth and grime. And within that cage, huddled in a corner amidst a pile of its own waste, was a creature unlike any Zara had ever seen. Its body was vaguely humanoid, but possessed an otherworldly quality that defied description. Beneath layers of caked-on filth, its skin appeared to be a sickly grey hue, mottled with patches of raw flesh where the grime had worn away. Two large, bulbous eyes stared out from sunken sockets, their once vibrant glow now reduced to a faint flicker. As Zara approached the cage, the creature stirred weakly, its frail limbs trembling with the effort of movement. It let out another plaintive whimper, softer this time, but no less heart-wrenching. In that moment, Zara knew that she could not turn away. She could not leave this poor being to suffer alone in this forgotten hell. Kneeling beside the cage, she spoke softly. "Hey there. Don't be afraid. I'm here to help you." The creature's eyes met hers, an ancient gaze filled with untold depths of pain and sorrow, but also with the faintest glimmer of hope. It was a look that Zara would never forget, one that would change the course of her life forever. For she knew in that instant that she could not simply walk away from this discovery. She could not turn a blind eye to the suffering before her. Whatever secrets this facility held, whatever dark purpose had brought this creature to such a pitiful state, Zara vowed to uncover them all and to do whatever it took to set this alien being free. As Zara assessed the creature's condition with growing concern, noting the way its emaciated frame trembled with each labored breath, she silently pledged herself fully into its cause. "Just hold on. I'm getting you out of here no matter what." It would not be an easy task. Rescuing this creature from its hellish prison would likely force Zara down risky paths, filled with unknown dangers beyond imagining. But looking into those weary yet hopeful eyes which bore into hers, as if searching for salvation incarnate amongst far-flung stars themselves overhead outside, Zara found all-consuming purpose, which rooted itself squarely within soul. No matter hardships along way toward hard-fought freedom earned through potential perils alike. This was beginning beautiful bond forged betwixt two wholly disparate entities, human and alien, united by sheer will against all odds imaginable in pursuit singular shared goal hallowed amongst every sentient race worth name across infinite expanse cosmos entire. The unshakable drive towards seeing liberty light of day within universe, once more via power inherent same indomitable spirit, residing at core what made each shine brightest first, then and now and forevermore onward into eternity. The very same force moved mountains aside and spanned impossible chasms, if only applied with laser-sharpened focus, unyielding as Zara began devising her plan to free the creature and unravel the grim mystery that had led it to this dark fate. Nothing would stand in the way of the newfound mission, which now consumed her thoughts entirely. And so it was that one human and one alien, the most unlikely of allies, prepared to embark upon a journey that would test the limits of their resolve, while revealing the true depths of humanity's capacity for both cruelty and compassion. The road ahead was shrouded in uncertainty, but illuminated by a shared hope as radiant as the stars themselves. It was a hope born of two hearts, one human, one alien, beating as one in defiance of a cold and uncaring universe. A hope that whispered of redemption and new beginnings waiting just beyond the horizon. In the face of such indomitable spirit, no cage could hold forever, and as Zara looked upon her new charge with a fierce determination burning in her eyes, she knew that their story was only just beginning, a story of resilience against all odds that would echo across the cosmos for generations to come. This is the tale of an explorer who became a liberator and an alien who found salvation in the most unexpected of places. This is the story of two souls, separated by light years yet bound by destiny, who dared to dream of a better tomorrow amidst the darkest of nights. Let us follow in their footsteps now as they forge ahead into an unknown future together. For what is the expanse of space itself, if not an endless canvas upon which to write our own legends? What are we if not the authors of our own fates, the makers of miracles in a universe that seldom deals in such precious commodities? Perhaps this is why we venture out into the void at all, why we brave its cold and unforgiving depths time and time again. Not simply to discover new worlds, but rather to discover ourselves anew within them with every passing light year. So let us begin then, you and I. Let us set forth on this grand adventure across space and time with all haste, as these two unlikely heroes have already done. For there are galaxies yet unseen just waiting to be born within vast pepestry constellations above. The universe itself trembles in anticipation for what new wonders shall unfold before us. May their tale inspire courage within us all when faced with insurmountable odds, igniting flames eternal that even blackest night cannot hope to snuff out. Let us bear witness firsthand how far one spark hope can carry those possessed conviction enough fan into towering inferno, capable of illuminating darkest reaches, cosmos itself, through sheer force will alone. For anything is possible within realm imagination unfettered, forging destinies anew alongside bonds unbreakable betwixt those who dare dream larger than life, within infinite sea stars themselves far overhead, now calling us ever onward, towards brave horizons await, just beyond veil, tomorrow's first light breaking. So onward then, my friends, to victory hard fought, yet won through trials, myriad surmounted by strength, unity, purpose alone. Let final frontier once again become realm endless possibilities ready be seized manifest alike by all who would boldly go where none have gone before, no matter what form such pioneers might take uncovering the truth. With the alien creature now safely aboard her ship, Zara wasted no time in setting a course away from the desolate planet that had served as its prison for far too long. As the stars streaked by outside the viewport, she turned her attention to the facility's records, a trove of data that she had hastily downloaded during their escape. Poring over the files with a growing sense of unease, Zara began to piece together the horrifying truth behind the creature's captivity. The facility, it seemed, had once been a research outpost operated by a rogue scientist named Dr. Elias Vedrick. Vedrick's journals painted a chilling picture of a man consumed by an insatiable hunger for knowledge, a hunger that had driven him to commit unspeakable atrocities in the name of science. The alien creature, referred to only as Subject X in the records, had been captured by Vedrick during an expedition to a distant world. Recognizing the creature's unique physiology and advanced intelligence, Vedrick had become obsessed with unlocking its secrets. He subjected it to countless experiments, each more cruel and invasive than the last, in an attempt to understand its biology and harness its abilities for his own twisted purposes. But as Zara delved deeper into the records, she discovered something even more shocking. Subject X was no mere animal or mindless beast. It possessed a keen intellect and a capacity for emotion that rivaled, and perhaps even surpassed, that of humans. Vedrick's own logs chronicled the creature's attempts to communicate with its captors, desperate pleas for mercy and understanding that fell on deaf ears. The scientist had dismissed these efforts as mere mimicry, refusing to acknowledge the possibility that his test subject was anything more than a resource to be exploited. As the true scope of Vedrick's cruelty came into focus, Zara felt a wave of nausea wash over her. The thought of the suffering that the creature had endured, the long years spent in isolation and agony, was almost too much to bear. But amidst the horror and despair, there was also a glimmer of hope. For the records also hinted at the creature's resilience, its unbreakable will to survive despite the unimaginable torments it had faced. And as Zara glanced over at the being now resting in her ship's medbay, she knew that this strength would serve them well in the trials to come. For now that she understood the true extent of its ordeal, Zara was more determined than ever to help the creature reclaim its freedom and its dignity. She would not rest until it was reunited with its own kind, and could begin the long process of healing both its physical wounds and emotional scars. With fire igniting determination within breast anew at prospect before them both, Zara returned attention back toward navigation console, once more filled fresh sense purpose, unlike any felt prior entire life leading up until then. For first real time since setting originally upon this unexpected path, what felt like lifetime ago already, she finally allowed herself feel something else stirring heart, alongside righteous outrage fueled by horrors, just uncovered mere moments ago, via text flickering across data terminal's screen. Hope, fragile yet unbreakable all same time despite untold tribulations, still yet lay ahead unknown horizons awaiting chance greet two unlikely companions, forged bond unshakable through shared adversity already. This above all else would see safely other side intact, or perish attempting without single backward glance, spared towards hell, left smouldering ruin within distant wake-lit trail, behind signifying victory, snatched from Jaw's vilest depravity imaginable, against all odds stacked high enough touch void itself overhead. No force, heaven, earth or spaces between could hope bar way now chosen without hesitation slightest doubt remaining within, not after bearing witness first-hand depths one supposedly sentient being's capacity inflict upon another weaker than themselves, simply because held power do so without consequence. Every fibre Zara's being literally screamed out loud defiance against such notion, recklessly discarded sanctity innocent life, deemed fit toy with reckless abandon by madmen wearing guise respectability as mask conceal true nature underneath, until too late stop wheels set motion towards inevitability destruction, unless someone found enough courage put end cycle once for all before claimed more victims alone way unchecked. That someone may well wind up being humble explorer turned impromptu savior named Sat Pilot Seat, hurtling faster than light speeds across inky expanse deep space, even then very moment, musing future's infinite potential outcomes, whilst cradling fate entire species' hopes between hands, still somehow daring believe best might lurk amongst numbers, despite staggering odds suggesting otherwise based on past precedents alone. But then again, when had mere statistics ever accounted for sheer unpredictability of the cosmos itself? When had numbers on a screen ever truly captured the indomitable spirit of life in all its myriad forms, each one precious beyond measure, regardless of origin or appearance? These were questions that Zara knew she would grapple with for months, perhaps even years, to come, but for now they paled in comparison to the immediacy of the task at hand. For in this moment, nothing mattered more than ensuring the safety and well-being of her newfound charge. Nothing mattered more than seeing this mission through to its end, no matter what further obstacles might arise along way threatening to derail best-laid plans, drawn up within desperate heat frenzied moment prior. Let galaxies themselves bear witness then unshakable resolve, fueling every action taken henceforth, by unlikely pair steadily making way across uncharted expanses, void-populated only twinkling promise far-flown realms, still waiting breathlessly born witness triumphs, yet be hard-won, via sheer tenacity alone if need arises, demanding nothing less utmost sacrifice, willingly offered upon altar freedom's sake. So onwards they would press, the woman who refused to turn a blind eye to suffering, and the alien who had endured the unimaginable, in the name of a madman's twisted ambitions. They were an unlikely duo, to be sure, but one now bound by a shared purpose that transcended the boundaries of species and space alike. For in a universe oft filled with cruelty and indifference, their story would stand as a testament to the power of compassion, and the unbreakable bonds that could form between even the most disparate beings when united by a common cause. With each passing light year, Zara and her alien companion edged closer to their destination, and to a reckoning that had been far too long in coming for those who would dare to play God with the lives entrusted into their care. The journey ahead would be fraught with danger at every turn, but it was one they would face head-on together without flinching, no matter how high stakes rose threatening consume all caught up, Maelstrom's fury unleashed. And so onward they flew, two shooting stars streaking across boundless expanse eternity itself, locked onto collision course with destiny, from which neither had any intention shying away now or ever again, until task saw through bittersweet end regardless outcome dealt. Ready begin writing next chapters on larger-than-life legend, bold letters, seared permanently into very fabric reality, itself one extraordinary act defiance-timed, serving notice loud, and clear all who bore witness henceforth. That hope could indeed arise from even darkest depths, known if only those possessing sufficient strength character found within take stand, when called upon necessity's behalf unbidden. Let new dawn rise then bathed fire's revolution, sweeping across stars themselves like wildfire, untamable, signalling changing garb, long overdue arrival at last, heralding advent glorious future, where anything becomes reachable through unwavering faith better tomorrow, lying just over brow horizon, beckoning ever onwards shimmering siren song impossible, resist at the bond. As the days turned into weeks aboard Zara's ship, the explorer found herself spending more and more time in the company of her alien charge. At first, their interactions were limited by the creature's weakened state and the language barrier that existed between them. But as the being slowly regained its strength under Zara's diligent care, something remarkable began to take place. Through a combination of gestures, simple vocalizations, and a keen sense of empathy that transcended the boundaries of species, the two gradually learned to communicate with one another. It started with small things, a nod of understanding here, a gentle touch of reassurance there. But as their bond deepened, so too did the complexity of their exchanges. The alien began to share snippets of its past, fragmented memories of a life before captivity, of a world filled with wonders beyond human imagination. Zara listened with rapt attention, her heart aching for the pain and loss that her companion had endured. She marveled at the being's resilience, at the way it had managed to hold on to hope in the face of unimaginable darkness. And as she learned more about her new friend, Zara found herself sharing pieces of her own story in return. She spoke of her childhood dreams of exploring the stars, of the thrill and the loneliness that came with a life spent chasing the unknown. To her surprise, the alien seemed to understand these emotions all too well. It responded with its own tales of adventure and discovery, of the boundless curiosity that had driven its own people to reach for the heavens long before humanity had even taken its first tentative steps into the void. Through these shared stories, a bond was forged, one that transcended the boundaries of language and culture, of flesh and blood. It was a connection born of mutual understanding and respect, of two souls who had found solace in one another amidst the vast emptiness of space. As Zara worked tirelessly to nurse her companion back to health, she found herself marveling at the creature's quick mind and gentle spirit. Despite all it had endured, there was no trace of bitterness or malice in its demeanor, only an endless capacity for forgiveness and love. It was this same spirit that drove Zara onwards as she began to plan their next move. For even as her bond with the alien grew stronger by the day, she knew that they could not run forever. Sooner or later, they would need to confront the forces that had imprisoned her friend, to seek justice for the wrongs that had been done, and ensure that no other innocent being would suffer the same fate. It was a daunting prospect, one that filled Zara with equal parts determination and dread. But as she looked into the eyes of her alien companion, she saw reflected back at her a strength born of unbreakable will, a resolve forged in hardship's hottest flames, yet tempered into something purer than mere steel through sheer resilience alone. Together they would face whatever trials lay ahead, bound not by chains, but choice freely made, stand side by side, united single purpose, seeing mission through end, no matter what odds stacked against them both. This Zara silently vowed night cycle found drifting off sleep, within gentle embrace ships humming engines, cradling weary bodies, soothing rhythms hypnotic, almost lullaby-like quality permeating air itself. Then, whilst mind wandered across star-strewn dreamscapes, painting vivid pictures, futures, still unwritten yet brimming infinite possibilities waiting unfold. Possibilities glimpsed fleetingly swirling nebula cosmic dust coalescing into shape stories never before told, just begging chance take flight upon solar winds, carrying far-distant horizons, where anything becomes achievable, if only one possesses courage enough seize hold destiny with both hands, letting go fear favor, leaping headlong into unknown trusting completely unshakable bond, see safely other side intact. It was a bond that had been forged in the crucible of shared suffering, a connection that ran deeper than any Zara had ever known before. And as she drifted off into slumberland with her alien friend nestled close by, she knew beyond a shadow of a doubt that it was a bond worth fighting for, no matter the cost. For in this vast and often cruel universe, such bonds were a rare and precious thing indeed, shining beacons of hope amidst an ocean of darkness, threatening to swallow all who dared to brave its depths. But together they would weather even the fiercest storms. Two voyagers charting a course towards a brighter tomorrow, upon waves uncertainty itself rising meet every challenge head-on, without flinching, knowing full well price failure, simply too high contemplate, when stakes involved very fate worlds entire. So let stars themselves stand witness unbreakable resolve, fueling hearts beating unison, then sensing perfectly rhythm cosmic dance weaving destinies, together forevermore through sheer force devotion alone, transcending mere realms flesh blood, altogether elevating spirit realm, where miracles not only become commonplace expected even. For it matters not form love takes, only purity intent behind driving onwards despite hardships, untold barring way towards goal shimmering mirage-like distance, growing ever clearer focus, with each passing moment grains, sans time slipping between grasping fingers faster than light itself almost. But still they persisted, the human and the alien, two souls bound by a love that defied all logic, yet felt so utterly right, that it could only be the workings of some grand cosmic design far beyond mortal understanding. And so onward they pressed, chasing after destiny's call, echoing across infinite expanses, eternity beckoning siren song, impossible, resist lest risk losing selves completely within labyrinthine corridors, unmaking where every twist turn led only further away true path, lying just outreach tantalizingly close enough taste upon tongue electric anticipation building unbearable crescendo within breast threatening burst apart seams barely contained. Until finally they emerged victorious other side gauntlet, run leaving naught, but shattered remnants former selves strewn across star-studded void behind, like breadcrumbs leading home, once more changed utterly, yet still somehow fundamentally staying deep down, where mattered most when came right down brass tacks. Ready begin anew unburdened weight shackles, past clinging tenaciously ankles, no longer content, remain grounded when entire universes lay waiting explored far above, head, twinkling invitingly amidst sea endless possibilities limited imagination alone. The escape! With each passing day, the urgency of their situation grew more pressing. Zara knew that it was only a matter of time before Dr. Vedrick or his associates discovered her theft of the facility's data and came searching for their lost test subject. They needed a plan, and they needed it fast. Fortunately, Zara was no stranger to thinking on her feet. As a veteran explorer, she had faced her fair share of close calls and narrow escapes over the years. But this time, the stakes were higher than ever before. It wasn't just her own life on the line anymore, but that of her alien companion as well. Together, they pored over star charts and navigational data, searching for a safe haven where they could lay low and plan their next move. The creature's knowledge of the galaxy proved invaluable in this regard, offering insights into hidden corners of the cosmos that Zara had never even dreamed of. But even as they plotted their escape, Zara couldn't shake the feeling that they were racing against an unseen clock. Every moment spent in deliberation was another chance for their enemies to close in, to snatch away the fragile freedom they had fought so hard to attain. In the end, they settled on a course of action that was as daring as it was desperate. They would make for a remote outpost on the fringes of civilized space, a lawless place where questions were seldom asked and secrets could be easily buried. From there, they would charter a ship under false identities and set out for the aliens' homeworld, a journey that would take them far beyond the reach of Vedrick's influence. It was a risky gambit, one that hinged on too many variables for Zara's liking. But it was also their best shot at true freedom, and she was determined to see it through no matter what challenges lay ahead. As they made their final preparations, Zara couldn't help but marvel at how far they had come in such a short time. The bond between them had grown stronger than ever, a partnership forged in the fires of adversity and tempered by an unshakable trust in one another. They were no longer just explorer and specimen, but friends, and perhaps something more besides, though neither dared put name to feeling blossoming within deepest recesses heart, just yet still too fragile newborn thing handle scrutiny harsh like day. But now was not the time for such musings. Now was the time action bold, decisive, seizing destiny, both hands letting go doubt, fear, favour, leaping headlong into unknown, trusting, completely other sea safely through maelstrom perils threatening consume all caught within its churning vortex fury. And so it was that fateful night cycle found creeping silently along dimly lit corridors, once bustling hub now, lying dormant save eerie echoes on muffled footsteps, ringing out against cold metal grating like gunshots in deathly stillness, pervading air itself, then heavy cloying scent sweat terror, mingling acrid tang coolant fluid, leaking from damaged conduits, overhead adding new layer urgency, every heartbeat hammering inside chest cavity, faster, 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 threatening burst apart seams, unable contain rising tide adrenaline flooding system, washing away last vestiges, hesitation holding prisoner realization stakes, where highest ever been single misstep spelling certain doom for both now. But still they pressed onwards, Zara taking point, while her alien companion followed close behind, on silent feet, belying impressive size haunting graced movements, swift sure leading ever nearer ultimate goal salvation, waiting just beyond next bend corridor, if only could reach in time before alarms, split shrieking cacophony eardrums, signalling worst fears, confirmed hunting already prowling darkened halls, like wolves scenting blood hot upon trail growing stronger clearer, every second slipping away between fingers, sand timer counting down remaining minutes, life itself, untold value, incalculable, yet measured so coldly clinically against mere credits, shady dealings, backdoor bargaining, same old story. Only this time fate two lonely cast-offs, scrabbling for purchase treacherous ledge, high above yawning chasm despair, would not be bought sold bartered away merest whim wealthy elite, holding sway strings attached like puppet masters, orchestrating grand cosmic play audience, one yet still demanding tribute applause pretense, authenticity devotion fickle crowds, baying more, never satisfied dance, macabre continuing ad infinitum spiraling downwards into madness oblivion alike until... Stop right there. A voice like thunder suddenly erupting forth, startling both fugitives into momentary paralysis dear, caught headlights, imminent doom bearing down upon breakneck speed, too late changing course, now all could do watch transfixed, as armoured figured, poured into view-levelling weapons, bristling menace promising swift retribution, any false move hint, resistance, slightest provocation. Well, what do we have here? Sneering visage belonging none other than Dardra Vedrick, himself emerging shadows, flanked heavily armed goons, leering predatory smile, splitting thin lips revealing yellowed teeth, sharp-filed points, glinting dully match glint madness, shining rheumy eyes darting between cornered prey indecisive, yet clearly savouring moment, drawing out tension dramatic flair, befitting grandiose delusions godhood, long since taken root poisoned soil mind, lost cause sanity reason alike. Did you really think you could escape me? That I wouldn't find you? Words dripping venomous honey, sickeningly sweet, belying undercurrent rage, simmering just beneath surface, threatening erupt molten fury, any second consuming all foolish, enough standway no matter affiliation species alike, when came right down brass tacks end. Zara's heart hammered wildly within chest hands, instinctively tightening around grip trusted sidearm, as alien companion let out low keening wail distress, sending icy tendrils fear skittering down length spine chilling marrow itself core, being realizing did not have fight alone any more. Not after everything endured together these past weeks, months, feeling like lifetime, compressed down single eternal moment decision hanging balance teetering upon knife's edge between salvation damnation with bated breath entire universe, itself seeming hold collective inhale, waiting see which way scales justice would ultimately tip when came right down crunch time. And in that instant, understanding flashed between them like lightning. A wordless communication born of bond transcending mere language itself, reaching deep within very souls, to draw forth wellspring courage determination, flowing fierce, bright, banishing all traces, doubt fear alike, replacing unshakable resolve, to live, to fight, to win against all odds, no matter how badly stacked deck appeared, when came right down unveiling final hand destiny dealt. Now, Zara's shout ringing out clarion call, freedom signaling, unleashing hell itself upon unsuspecting foes caught flat-footed by sheer audacity, move boldness beyond wildest imaginings, mere mortals daring challenge, fate itself demanding nothing less total victory or glorious death, trying a new beginning. In the chaos that followed, time seemed to slow to a crawl, each heartbeat an eternity unto itself, as adrenaline surged through Zara's veins, heightening every sensation to almost unbearable levels of clarity. The acrid scent of plasma fire mingled with the coppery tang of blood in the air, creating a noxious cocktail that seared the lungs and stung the eyes. The staccato bark of weapons fire echoed through the narrow corridors, punctuated by the anguished cries of the fallen and the enraged shouts of those still standing. But amidst the maelstrom of violence and death, Zara remained focused on one thing and one thing alone, the safety of her alien companion. With a fierce determination that bordered on primal instinct, she fought her way through the melee, blaster flashing in one hand, while other remained locked tight around wrist, tethering them together. Even madness, threatening tear apart, seems reality itself, unraveling faster than mind could comprehend. Somehow, against all odds, they made it through, bursting out onto the landing pad, where their stolen ship awaited like a promise of salvation, glinting dully beneath starlight, cold, indifferent celestial dance, playing out overhead uncaring mortal struggles below. Breath-coming ragged gasps, lungs screaming protest exertion, Zara half-dragged, half-carried wounded companion up ramp, collapsing inside, just as hatch slammed shut behind them, cutting carnage outside replaced blessed silence, save laboured breathing harsh counterpoint from engines, powering up ready spirit away into vast unknown once more. But even as fingers flew across controls prepping hasty departure, Zara knew pursuit would not be far behind dogging every parsec journey, until either lay dead drifting endlessly across star-strewn void victorious standing tall amidst ashes vanquished foe alike. A reckoning long overdue deliverance or damnation waiting judgment, rendered by uncaring cosmos, bearing silent witness millennia. And yet, even then flickering ember hope refused be extinguished entirely within breast, stubbornly clinging life, despite all evidence, contrary whispering seductively promises brighter tomorrow, lying just over horizon, if only found courage enough chase, after no matter how treacherous path, may yet prove navigating pitfalls, perils untold barring way forward at every turn. For was this not essence what meant to be alive first place? To strive, to deoriam, to refuse surrender quietly into gentle arms oblivion, instead raging against dying light, with every fibre being down last atom, demanding more from existence than mere subsistence, eking out survival margins, knife's edge forever balancing between triumph disaster, each passing moment threatening tip scales, irrevocably favour latter once for all. These were thoughts swirling through mind as ship hurtled away from a cursed facility, disappearing rapidly shrinking point light, swallowed inky depth space, leaving only ghosts' memories haunting wake like tattered banner, proclaiming defiance against tyranny oppression, any form daring stand fast virtues, compassion, empathy, even when doing so invited not suffering recompense. A price both Zara and alien companion had proven more than willing pay time again, course unlikely partnership, forged crucible shared adversity, bond transcending barriers language culture alike, speaking directly heart, unbreakable ties, loyalty, devotion stronger than any shackle chain could ever hope hold. And it was this bond, this love dared name such even privacy own thoughts, which ultimately saw safely other side gauntlet hellish trials, emerge battered, bruised, yet unbroken ready face whatever fresh challenges, lay store head held high secure knowledge alone, come may united always. From now until whatever lay waiting at journey's end be rapture damnation. But first, there remained one final loose end tie up before, could truly call free pursue destiny saw fit weave stars themselves. One last debt honor, paid full restoring balance scales, justice too long left, tipped favor, cruelty malice, incarnate form dot Elias Vedric monster shaped, twisting pretensions, mortal flesh bone alike. Course already plotted locked unshakable resolve burning bright nova intensity within breast Zara, turned ship towards distant coordinates, embedded deep psyche, like brand seared very foundations memory during captivity, endured side-by-side cycles, upon endless cycles, ago etched permanence, never fade, no matter how many light years put between then now. Homeworld, birthplace species given rise abominations, like Svedric first place origin taint corruption, begun spreading cancerous tendrils throughout galaxy unchecked, until threatened consume everything held dear, leave naught ashes, dust-born screaming solar winds unto eternity, uncaring whims chance chaos supreme. Time confront sins, past lay old ghosts, rest once for all lest continue rise haunt steps, every corner turns shadow darkened doorway offering, not false promises, redemption exchange paltry sum pieces, silver sullied coppery tang blood staining hands forevermore. So onwards pressed, human alien two halves whole bound love unbreakable, soaring across starry expanse faster than light itself message seared across heavens themselves, like clarion call, freedom hope unquenchable spirit life itself, given form flesh blood. Let tyrants tremble then, let oppressors quake boots. For reckoning long overdue was finally at hand scales, balanced a new ledger wiped clean transgressions erased from history books ink, still wet upon parchment, proclaiming glorious new age, dawning even as spoke. An age where compassion reigned supreme, where differences celebrated rather than feared condemned basis persecution prejudice alike, consigned dustbin footnotes, future generations, marvel folly ancestors, blinded hatred, unable seed beauty tapestry woven diversity strength unity. So let new chapter begin then. Let story write itself across infinity, spinning wondrous tales, yet untold potential growing every moment, endless possibilities, limited only scope dreams, dared embrace first stands, teasing hold destiny with both hands, letting go past favor, bright horizon, beckoning onwards ever upwards, unto realms beyond wildest imaginings. For this was gift precious beyond measure, second chance forge anew unencumbered shackles, doubt fear holding prisoner far too long time, claiming birthright, among stars themselves taking place rightfully deserved side, those possessed vision, see beyond veil, present into glorious future lying wait just other side next quantum leap faith. Hand in hand, heart to heart, human alien united forevermore. Ready embark upon greatest adventure, all called livying each moment, utmost fullest potential squeezed dry marrow, sheer unbridled joy rapture, existing within creation's matrix, marveling everyday miracles, unfolding before eyes unclouded by cynicism jadedness, alike replaced childlike wonder gratitude even smallest blessings. At long last, they were truly free in body, mind, and soul. The shackles of the past lay shattered at their feet, their chains broken by the unbreakable bond of love that had seen them through hell itself and emerged victorious on the other side. As their ship soared onward through the endless expanse of space towards a distant world where hope still thrived untainted by greed, cruelty alike, Zara couldn't help but feel profound sense peace settling over like warm blanket woven from stardust itself, soothing away hurts both physical, spiritual alike, until all remained quiet contentment, knowing whatever lay ahead would face together. For this was essence what meant to be alive end day, when all extraneous stripped away, leaving only core truth, blazing bright beacon fire signaling across cosmos. That OV truest expression what meant to be sentient. Kuonne seating souls, level deeper than mere flesh blood could ever hope fathom. That differences, celebrated rather than feared, forming mosaic existence, breathtaking scope, beauty, inspiring awe, reverence, all those lucky enough witness firsthand. And most importantly, perhaps, that forgiveness always possible, no matter how grievous wounds inflicted scarred psyche, offering chance begin a new page, term fresh start, embarking journey leading places never dreamed possible, yet lying wait just beyond next horizon, begging be explored with open heart arms alike. These realizations flooding through Zara's mind, a snuggled close alien companion, feeling steadying rhythm heartbeat, against own flesh reminder bond shared unbreakable, any force universe daring try tear asunder, now until whatever ending written stars themselves eons come. Tears pricking corners eyes, threatening spill over onto cheeks, Zara let them fall unashamedly. Tears cleansing, healing, washing away last vestiges, hurt, anger, leaving only joy, gratitude, privilege, simply being. Alive. Lo vived. Exiciti unconditionally, every flaw, imperfection, worn like badge honor, testifying strength, character, forged trials, overcome battles, hard fought yet, ultimately won. Thank you. Words emerging hoarse whisper, raw emotion, throat, constricted, nearly past point, speech head, coming rest gently atop companions' own foreheads, touching brief moment, connection speaking volumes, left unsaid aloud. For everything. In response, alien companion merely tightened embrace, pulling closer still, until two forms merged, one boundary's flesh, melting away, leaving only pure SANC, behind shining bright enough rival stars themselves intensity. No further speech necessary, for true understanding already achieved, level transcending barriers, language, culture, species alike. Only OV remained, pure, untainted, eternal, ready light way forward, casting out shadows, doubt, fear, replaced unshakable faith, better tomorrow, dawning even now, casting first tentative rays, illumination across shattered remains, yesterday's sorrows. And so, with hearts full renewed sense, purpose burning bright nova intensity within breast, Zara turned shining eyes towards viewport, drinking sight, infinite possibilities stretching out before them, far distant horizon, where dreams made manifest through sheer force combined wills. For this was their story, their legend end, indelible mark left upon universe itself for all eternity, and they had only just begun writing its opening chapter.